Hello, everybody. It is Tawnya Love, and I am going to start doing videos live on Facebook rather than on our previously uploaded Tawnya Love show I was doing for a couple years now. And there's just some very, aligned reasons for that change and that choice, and I'm feeling really good about these changes. And I just want to welcome you guys all to go on to YouTube. You guys can follow and watch the previous shows that I've done, as well as any future shows on YouTube under Tawnya Love. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be sharing as I feel inspired. And so if you guys are here and you want to let me know who's here and put some hearts or type in your name. If you have any questions today while we're live, feel free to write in your questions or your comments, because I value all of your voices and all of your wisdom. So feel free to share that. I feel as if today this is an amazing meeting for all of the earth angels and different souls that know that they're very connected to native tribes and have lived many past lives. And this morning I woke up with this song in my consciousness, and it was On the Wings of Love. And I found that it's kind of funny how Spirit will just bring music into my mind and it'll have a message in it. And then I was taking a shower and getting ready. And anyway, I was getting ready for the show today, and then all of a sudden I was feeling like the ancestors were calling me to do a smudging ceremony live with you guys. So if any of you that are listening that are light workers, or you just are into burning sage and you want to join me with a smudging ceremony, I welcome that. I welcome all of your love and your good vibrations. If any of you are going to put inappropriate things, I just ask you to kind of move on, because I'm not into that and I won't really address or tune into it. And on that note, I had a post that I shared yesterday in regards to all this stuff that's going on with the political campaigning and, everyone building up to this day of voting and expressing what we feel. And I feel like we each need to be really mindful that we stay in our center and that we stay in a vibration of love. And when we think about, one of the things I love about being an American is that we're in this country where we have freedom of speech and we have a freedom to express what we feel, to choose, to make our own choices. And that's what the whole democratic system is about. But I've seen observed a lot of people being very hateful, very judgmental, lashing out at their friends, their family, and all in an attempt to be right and make someone else wrong. And if you look at some of the shows that we've posted in the past, a lot of it's about clearing the ego, and the egoic identity is very strong in us. And I feel like one of the things that I would like to share today is just to be present with yourself when you feel like you're getting flared up, when you're getting fired up or triggered by another, to really tune in and process what is going on inside of you and where is that coming from, and realize that that person, that external being that triggered you, is actually an assistant to come in and help you clear your own stuff. And a lot of times we want to blame people outside in the external reality. We want to blame them for our problems or our anger. We want to have someone to point the blame at, and we want to lash out at someone because we really are struggling to go inside and to find our own inner peace and to heal and release old energies that we have dormant within us. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that. And let's all remember that we're actually here for love. Like, we are here for love. I feel that Spirit bringing that song in, On the Wings of Love, was very synchronistic. Then I ended up going and turning on Pandora, and there's a Native American flute song, and I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was something to do with love, like A Call for Love is what it was called. And I know back in 2012 when I was called in as a light worker to really live my truth and, be in the light and speak the truth and not be ashamed, not be afraid of the earth angel I knew I was, and to actually come into my power, I was taught that I was here as a soul mission, and my mission was here to teach them how to love. And I know some of you that are watching, you resonate with that, and you know that there's a better and a higher vibration that we could all embody and that we could all join each other in. And so today, that's what I feel this soul conversation and this meeting is about, is a call to love. And that love really starts with each of us. We have to do the work where we love ourselves. If we have not done that work, if we have not tuned inward and found a way to really love and accept ourselves for who we are, it's going to be really difficult for us to have unconditional love for each other. We're going to find every reason in the book to feel justified in lashing out and being hateful and judgmental and condemning others. And, you know, it's not about being a Democrat, it's not about being a Republican, it's not about being black, white, Native American, a man, a woman. It doesn't matter. We're all human beings. We're all living beings, and we're all one with Source. We are all one with love. We are all capable of tapping into and accessing unconditional love, but it takes some awareness, because many of us have been raised and brought up in a very heavy, dense vibration, and we've been brought up and taught to hate. I don't really feel, if any of you check in with yourselves, when you were a baby, did you just come out of the womb and you looked at life and you hated black people, or you hated Native American people, or you really didn't like men, or you really didn't like women? We came in pure. We're pure, and we're still pure in our spirit. We still have that purity. We still have that potency and that connection and oneness with Source. But some of us have been very, let's just say, tainted and hardened and abused from growing up in these systems that have really taught us to hate and taught us to judge and taught us to lash out and to create separation. And it doesn't matter where you were taught it or how you were taught that. What matters is that we actually tune in and that we ignite that light within us, that we actually remember that we have never been abandoned by Source. We have never been separate, but we in our own consciousness, we in our own belief systems can really do a great job of pinching ourselves off from the Source and the goodness that is available. And I feel when I kind of check in and meditate about this whole situation, like what gets people fired up and they're angry and they're fearful with this whole election process. When we get really simple, it's that we're all human beings and we all want to know that we're safe. We all want to know that we're supported. We all want to know that our needs matter, that our desires can be fulfilled. We want to know that we are important and that we actually are protected and that we're honored. And so it doesn't really matter what side of the fence we're on or if we're walking down the center of the fence. What matters, though, is that we remember that through love, we can actually ignite all of these intentions. It's going to be love that sets everyone free. It's going to be love that unites us all. It's going to be love that transcends all the pain that we've been through. And trust me, if you think that Tawnya Love hasn't been through any pain, go and watch some of my old videos. I share a lot of my story that I'm not going to get into too much today. But we all have a story. We all have a journey that we went through, that we walked through, where we suffered, where we went through pain, where we felt lost, we felt alone, we might have felt abandoned. And maybe some of you listening, you're there right now and you feel frustrated, you feel scared. And I send you so much love as you have the courage to tune in and love yourself and to remember, and I feel like that's all I am. I am just a simple messenger here to remind you of who you are. You are all divine. You are all incredibly powerful. You are all incredibly loved and supported and important. And sometimes when we forget this, our egoic identity that we relate to, we identify with, can really take us on a journey and on a ride of suffering. And that is a free will ride. You are all free to access that ride and to ride it as many times as you want. But if we're waking up now, and if you're tuning into this show with me, if you're actually tuning in and actually connecting on this, then there is enough awareness in you to actually tune in and heal and transcend the pain within you. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I completely honor you on your decision. However, if you actually are setting an intention to heal and you want to come back and you want to connect and you want to feel more alive, more conscious, more connected with each other, then there's inner work that you have to do. It's not just about pointing fingers and blaming and calling names. There's people that like to do that all the time. I've had people in the last couple of days, I've had to really honor healthy boundaries and go in and unfriend and block people that want to come in and just heckle and harass and create negativity. And I won't tolerate it. And each of you, you have a right to not tolerate that stuff. Now, at the same time, even though these people are doing this, I'm not going to not like them or love them or want good for them. I just won't tolerate them in my sacred space. So what we need to all be mindful of is that whatever it is we're doing in our life, check in with our intention. Are we actually showing up with love? Are we showing up with honor and respect? Are we showing up with love, honor, and respect and authenticity for ourselves? Because if we're not, it's going to be pretty tricky to pull that off with others. So any of you guys out there that are feeling frustrated, and I've seen a lot of people expressing, oh, I'm so afraid with this election. I'm so tense. I feel so nervous about the future. I'm going to remind you that you are all incredibly powerful alchemists. You are all one with Source. You are all creators. And some of you may not want to hear that. You may reject that and be like, oh, damn her. She's blasphemy. She's saying that I'm a creator. Well, yes, you are. And I'm going to stand in my power with that, because I know that as each of you can claim that responsibility and you can have the awareness to realize you are a creator, then you are going to be able to have the awareness in what you're creating. Many of us that are creating hell on earth, we're creating nightmare situations. It is because we are creating unconsciously. We are in our thoughts, holding a vibration and a feeling of anger, of hate, of shame, of pain. We're keeping that vibration and that frequency going. And then in our thinking, we're thinking the worst. Oh, now what's going to happen? Oh, life's out to get me. Everyone hates me. And then we're angry and we want to fight life. We want to resist life. That is a free will choice. You absolutely can choose. And trust me, I chose it for a while. I think all of us have been there at some point. But there is another choice. There's another option, another opportunity. And that is to come in and be very conscious with your vibration, conscious with your thinking. What am I hoping for in the future? Am I holding my thoughts and my frequency in the direction of what I desire to create in this new earth reality? Or am I holding my thoughts and my vibration in a space of what I feel my reality is now, and I'm stuck and I feel imprisoned by that vibration? So that's when I'm saying there's not enough, everyone's out to get me, nothing's fair, screw the government, they're all corrupt, and we get into this justified reason to hate people and to blame everyone. But that is actually not empowering you. That is the only reason I'm coming on here today, is to actually remind all of you where your power is at and where it's not. If you're putting your power in blaming others, you're actually giving that power away, and it's not helping move the collective in the direction that you want to go. So if we are vibrationally holding a frequency of love, of acceptance, of patience, then we can actually be in that vibration, which gives us, first of all, ease. It helps us to feel calm and centered and at ease. And then when we hold that vibration of love, and we can hold our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions are all united in a direction of creating a new outcome, we are incredibly powerful alchemists. We can take nothing and we can turn it into something. We could take lack and transcend it into abundance. We could take sickness and transcend that into wholeness. And each of you have the capacity to do this. You all are one with Source. Some of you may have forgotten that. That is the difference. Some of us are powerfully using that frequency and that intention to create manifestation. And we remember that we're one with Source. We remember that we're powerful. We remember that we're infinite. We are the great I am. We are one with Source. We are life itself. Consciousness always moving through. And that consciousness is infinite. There is infinite potential there. Some of us have forgotten that for a while. And be gentle with yourselves if you have. Because as you can be gentle with yourself and compassionate with yourself, as you can forgive yourself for forgetting the oneness that you actually can access, you're going to be much more compassionate with each other. You're going to be compassionate with your neighbor who hasn't remembered yet. And I feel like, a lot of this egoic thing, we have to watch out that we're not projecting the sense of, I am superior to you. I am a Democrat, so therefore I am this. I am a white woman, so therefore I am above you. I am a light worker, and look at all these lost souls. It doesn't matter how we project it. If we are sending out that vibration that we are projecting a sense of separateness to make ourselves feel stronger or more important, then we need to check in. I could think I'm a biker and I don't need any of this shit and it's the same game. Or I'm a religious Catholic and I am above all of these people, same game. So it really doesn't matter how we're playing that game. What matters is that we have the consciousness to wake ourselves up from it so that we can take our power back and we can actually show up with love. So any of you guys, if you resonate with that, send me some feedback. If any of you have a question, let me know. And I will be happy to tune into your questions if they're polite and respectful. If they're not, I promise you they will be deleted and you will be blocked. So you can call that mean, but that's actually me holding my stance of power and practicing self-love. And I am here to mirror that healthy boundary to many of you because a lot of us have not been taught that. We feel like if we heckle people, we get energy, we get attention, and then we can make people feel like they submit to us. That is not in alignment, and that is not coming from love, and it doesn't really help you heal, and it doesn't help the other. So a lot of us as light workers or empaths, we're very sensitive souls. A lot of the journey I know I had to go through was to really learn to honor that healthy boundary setting, because it's not going to be good for you if you let people come in and trample all over you energetically. And when we're on Facebook, we're putting out our love and our light, and we're putting out our goodness. If people don't honor that and they come in and they start heckling you and shaming you and just bring in a bunch of negativity, you have every right to clear that from your page. You have every right to hang up on phone calls. You have every right to walk out of doors, walk out of jobs, relationships. We have to remember that we are not to be attached to role and title of other beings. We're here to be one with our source and to center ourselves in self-love. If we can't do that part, it's going to be really tricky to have healthy relationships. It's going to be tricky to feel confident about ourselves and to really practice our aligned work. So I say that just as a gentle reminder because there's been so many times in my life I've been tested with that, and I've had to leave relationships. I've had to leave partnerships with business because the people just didn't want to show up with love and honor, and that's okay. I don't need to hate them. I don't need to shame them, but I also don't need to play with them. It's kind of like when we're children, we're playing out in the sandbox, and there's those kids that want to come play and build a castle with us, and it's fun. We're co-creatively building that castle. And then there's that little bully kid that comes in and kicks the castle down and throws sand in your face. You know what? You don't need to tolerate that kid. You can still send love to them. Hold love for them. Don't bully them because they need love more than anyone. They are actually calling out for that love. But at the same time, don't allow them to come in and abuse you. And a lot of us need to remember this with family. Be mindful who you talk to. Be mindful who you share your vulnerable truth with. Not everyone is celebrating that truth with you. And so a lot of it is about discernment, about discerning energy and, standing in the power of love and not being afraid to actually stand your ground and not be afraid of who might leave your movie, who might leave your film of life and not want to hang out with you anymore. Because big picture, whatever's leaving is for the highest good for you, and whatever's coming in is for your highest good. So if we just remember that source, and I say source, you could call it God, whatever relates, whatever word resonates with you. Source to me makes sense. It's not a man-woman energy. It's a divine source of energy. And we all can tap into that energy and we can receive healing, wisdom. We can manifest miracles. We can create abundance. We can do whatever we want with that energy. And a lot of us that are terrified on the planet right now of what other leaders are going to do to us, you have forgotten your own divinity. You have forgotten that you are empowered and powerful with your source. You don't need to be afraid of others. You don't need to hand your power over to others. It's time for us to start making our own choices and thinking for ourselves and not giving the power over to others and then just saying, oh, well, they said to do so, so I did it, and now I'm suffering. That time is ending. At least in my movie it is. So if you guys have any questions, input, bring it. If everyone's relating, kind of give me some little love, some hearts across so I know that you're with me. And I'm going to read a card to you from the Isis Oracle. I myself resonate and connect with Isis on a deep level, but if any of you feel offended by the word Isis, please just be open to the message. Receive it from God. Receive it from your angels. Don't worry about Isis or any words that might trip you up. Let the energy come in from your source, okay? So this one is titled Abundance of Sothis, and it looks like this. Thank you for the hearts, guys. I love that. Mwah! Love you all. This one is stellar blessings of the celestial goddess of abundance. Abundance in many forms is flowing to you now, beloveds. Intend right now to receive it fully. Just decide to do so in your heart in this very moment. And so really kind of close your eyes and just open up to receive all the good you really deserve. No matter how hard hard of times you've been going through, no matter what you've been told that you're worth, just connect in your heart to receive. Be open to the divine feminine energy of receptivity. The oracle of abundance of Sothis comes as a guidance to expect increased flow and to continue your good works of building channels through which abundance can be delivered to you. Freely share your talents, love, wisdom, and self, and enjoy the abundance responsively flowing to you now in many forms over and over again. And I will say, I am mirroring this to you guys. I am on here as a light worker. This is my profession is as a healer, a light worker, a yoga teacher, and truly I manifest great abundance through Source. And I am here doing this from my heart to help you guys, to help you remember who you are. Don't be afraid to share your gifts. There's going to be some people who will heckle you about it. There's going to be some people who shame you for it. That is about them, not you. So just stay in your center, stay connected with love, and share your gifts, share your wisdom. Those who are ready to receive it are going to be so grateful, and those who are not are going to show you through their resistance. They're going to show you through shame, negativity. Just keep moving on. And by all means, anyone that doesn't want to hear my message today, scroll along, my friends. You don't have to stay here. I am no way I'm telling you to be here. However, if you are here and you're curious, be open. Open your heart to actually listen, to actually receive in a way that maybe you have not been open to receive in the past. Okay, abundance comes to you now, dear initiate. If you have been through a time of restricted circumstance, materially, financially, socially, or in terms of your health or relationships, opportunities, fun, or friendship, then this oracle indicates the tide is turning and an upsurge of wealth, health, abundance, and more are coming to you now. Yay! After an experience of restriction, perhaps for a prolonged period, you will very much enjoy this new and improved flow of energy, of support and compensation and reward. And so just kind of open up to receive all that good stuff that you really want, that you actually know that you're one with. I will tell you, you guys are totally worthy. The biggest wound from my observation, my humble observation, is the wound of I am not enough. And many of us have this going on deep inside of us. We think we're not enough for that loving relationship. We're not enough for that better paying job. I'm not worthy. I'm not enough to be someone of importance that could make a difference. And so because we believe in that, we tolerate abusive relationships. We tolerate abusive partnerships in our business. And we feel like we have to stay there and be abused and be heckled. That is not true. As you really heal the inside wounds of self-worth, you are going to realize that you deserve the best. You deserve love. You deserve respect. You deserve honor and appreciation. And you deserve to be around people who really celebrate you and want you to shine. They want you to thrive. It's like, if you've ever, imagine you have like a plant, you plant it in the garden, in the back corner of a garden, and you neglect it, you never go water it. And even worse, imagine you throw rocks at it. People are throwing rocks at it every day, and they're hating it, and they're telling it it's never going to be anything, and it's going to struggle to thrive. That plant, energetically, is going to really struggle to become what it was potentially intended to become. Now, at the same time, you take a plant and you put it in a nice spot in the garden, you give it plenty of the light that it needs, you give it the water it needs, the nourishment, you just send love to it, you visualize that plant thriving and growing, and you celebrate every new leaf that it gets. That is magical. That is what each of us need to be. We need to be the embodiment of that kind of unconditional love for each other, and we need to start with ourselves. Because I know for myself, I grew up in a very abusive environment. I grew up around a lot of hate and shame and pain from humans around me that were suffering, and they did not know how to celebrate my growth. They didn't know how to encourage my potential because they weren't able to do it for themselves. So I understood where everything was coming from, but at the same time, I understand also the energy that happens when we are actually holding space for another and we are expecting them to thrive. We are holding a vibration of love. Let us do this for ourselves. Let us start with ourselves today, and then start with other friends and family that we feel that we can hold that vibration with. And then we can start to send that to our government. We can start to send that to our country, to every human, every living being, to animals, to the plants in nature. We can actually hold a frequency of love, and we can want the best for everyone. I feel that is what we're all here with the opportunity to align with. We're all being tested right now. We are all being given exactly what our soul needs for growth and for expansion. But are you paying attention? Are you caught up in the movie, the illusion, the Maya of life? And are you losing your mind there? Are you losing yourself in that illusion? Or are you awake? And are you seeing that, yes, this is an illusionary world that I am here to actually send love into? I am here to be a messenger and a way shower of love. And some people, I know, like I can see there's so many beautiful things you guys are writing. And then I see someone saying, wow, really get a clue, dumbass? Like that kind of stuff. I send you love, Greg, because someone who's going to actually come onto a post like this and put hateful things like that, everyone send Greg love, because Greg needs love and he needs to feel love inside of himself. And so any of us, no matter what's happening, we don't need to take that personal. I am not going to be triggered and defensive. I have learned that that is not helpful and that that doesn't really serve anything. But if I can hold that vibration of love and still send that love to another, even though they cannot show up with love for me, that is powerful. At the same time, it doesn't mean we have to tolerate their energy if they can't figure it out, if they don't want to shift with us. This might mean it's the end of a relationship. It might mean that we move in a new direction in our career and we no longer work in an environment where there are people who refuse to honor us. So it's a fine line of we love and accept unconditionally, but we also love ourselves and we do not tolerate abuse. The time of that, I feel, is ending. We are here to be way showers of love, and we cannot do that if we're showing up with hatefulness. So let us all just send that vibration of love right now. And start with yourself. Like, really love and appreciate yourself. As a yoga teacher, I think almost every day that message comes through, which is just to connect deeply with the inner child self and love our inner child. That inner child has been through a lot. And if we have not tuned in and we have not asked our inner child what they need, and we are putting them last, the inner child can create a lot of havoc in our life. It becomes rebellious. It becomes very guarded. And so if we do that healing work and we can come in and connect with our inner child, we will create a shift inside. And every great shift in the external reality always begins with a great shift within. So I encourage you to shift within first. Let your work be here, not be distracted by what other people need to do. Don't sit at home and be complaining and bitching about Obama or complaining and bitching about Donald Trump or Hillary while you ignore your own need for shift, while you ignore your own need to release hatred from inside. This is completely insane. And like, I love how Eckhart Tolle says that the rising of sanity is in the awareness that we are in an insane space. So as we realize we have been practicing insanity, that moment brings in and ushers in an awareness that actually brings and rises the sense of sanity. Sanity arises within us, and we remember what love is all about. We remember what we really are here to do. Okay, so I'm going to move on with this card. With your open heart, your many channels ready to receive the influx of abundance, and your innate belief that you are worthy to receive, you attract greater support from the universe. Channels for receiving grace in all its forms are created when you follow your heart and do your part to be ready and prepared to receive. And this is the most important thing, guys. Follow your hearts. And thank you, David. David Ift is saying thank you for setting such a good example. Thank you. I really appreciate the words of honor. Thank you so much. So think about whatever you're doing. Sometimes we get caught up in our humanness and we forget about the beingness, the human being that we are. Our beingness is when we're still and receptive, when our awareness is just tuned in and present with our source. We become one with the divine source. We become open and receptive to the divine feminine energy, and we become receptive. When we can tune in and we can listen better, we can open ourselves, we will receive what we need. And this is going to be a heartfelt feeling. So if some of you are going to jobs that you hate, going to jobs that you know do not match you, you're stuck in vibrations with family and friends, where you don't feel honored and you're staying there because you say, oh, I'm stuck, I have to tolerate this, you are creating that yourself. So part of this is to tune in and to really go, okay, what is my heart saying? What is my heart guiding me to do? Because if I am not honoring my own heart's calling and I am not living authentically, again, that is going to be really tricky for me to celebrate somebody else who is, because I'm not feeling I have permission to do it myself. So a lot of this is really coming into that vibration of self-love where we can actually embody that love and we can let love lead us. We can let our hearts guide us into action, and that action is going to be amazing. It's getting kind of like, hopefully you guys can see me. The light is also in the sun's like, oh, okay, there we go. He like turned it off. It actually looked kind of cool, kind of like Messiah. No, I'm just kidding. But the light was slowly coming in and it was getting kind of dark, so we just shut the blinds. So anyway, preparing yourself to receive, being one with your source, and listening to the heart. The heart is going to win, my friends. The ego mind will submit to the heart eventually, so we may as well participate in that very consciously now. Allow yourself to consciously surrender the egoic thought, the program, the ideas, the belief systems, there's an expectation, and let that drop so that the heart can guide you. You are going to totally feel amazing when you can honor the heart and you can follow the heart's calling. I promise you. It isn't about money. It isn't about numbers. It isn't about, what people think of you. It's about your heart. It's about you knowing that you are doing your work, that you are actually here living your life's truth. That may be that you are an artist. It might be that you are to just get on Facebook and do live videos, and if people love you, so be it, and if they hate you, okay. It might be that you are to, come out in your family and express that you're an earth angel and an angelic healer and explain that to those who are listening and do your work. It might mean that you're a truck driver and you're just to hold a space and a vibration of love as you deliver goods across the country. It does not matter what your job is. It does not matter what your pay is. Any of that stuff is completely egoic identity. What matters most is, do you love who you are? Do you feel you are showing up authentically? Do you feel that you are being the most truthful version of yourself and living your truth? Are you standing up for what matters to you most? Are you speaking your truth when it matters most? Are you just shying away and holding in your truth? All of this stuff really matters. And it's funny because I've observed lately a lot of this stuff with numbers. I've had a few people in my movie challenge me with this, so I kind of pay attention like, okay, what is this about? And whether it be how many people are following you on Facebook, to how many likes you're getting on YouTube, to how much popularity you have from the collective consciousness, how many people show up in your classes or workshops, it's all bullshit. It does not matter. What matters is, are you showing up authentically? Are you showing up with your love guiding you? And are you showing up and loving yourself? Everyone else, that's their job. That's their work. There's going to be people who are going to love you today and they're going to hate you tomorrow, and it's all about them. It's about where they are vibrationally. That has nothing to do with you. So we have to kind of get over this thing where we are doing things from a place of people pleasing. We need to heal that part of ourselves. That comes back to that self-worth thing. If we heal the self-worth issue, we love ourselves, we accept ourselves, we're going to be amazing sacred rebels. We are going to walk with a power that people can't quite understand, but the ones who want to understand it are going to be drawn to us. They're going to want to listen. And the ones who don't want to understand it, we're going to be the enemy. They're going to perceive us and project upon us that we're their enemy. It's not truth, so just don't buy into it. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a little hearts, thumbs up. I wish there was like magical unicorns that you guys could put. That would make me really happy. Okay, but let me see your feedback. Bring it. Okay, so this says, the containers will be created not only from practical steps that you take, but from the intention. And this is important part. Listen to this, guys. If you are struggling with manifestation in any way, really listen. I've said this so many times and I will continue to say it. The opportunity comes in when we set our intention and the vibration and the resonance behind them. So a really quick mathematical equation you guys could write down, and I swear this works on every level, so write it down if you want to because it's amazing, is vibration frequency plus intention equals manifestation. So no matter what you guys are doing as creators, no matter what you're creating today, trust me, this mathematical equation is happening. So either you're holding a vibration and a frequency of lack, and your thoughts are fear of lack, and voila, manifested lack. Boom, you guys are amazing creators. Or we could shift it because we're tired of that. We're like, you know what? Yeah, I've had lack for a while and it kind of isn't fun. So let me try that mathematical equation in a new way. So my frequency is abundance. My frequency, my vibration is on plenty. I am holding the intention. My thoughts are in the direction of plenty. I am seeing everything that I need coming to me with ease. I don't need to figure it out. I don't need to understand it intellectually. I just need to hold a focal point, a vibration within myself of abundance, of having, of being safe, being supported. What does that feel like? Get into the feeling of that. And then your intention is your thoughts. Now be very mindful with what you're thinking and be mindful with what you're speaking into the world. Your word into the world becomes manifested reality. So if you are speaking that you are poor and I'm always broke as a joke, voila, so be it. And you are the creator of it. No one else. So if you're done with that, maybe you've been an artist. I'm a starving artist. I'm a struggling artist. We have a lot of mantras we like to say in, justifying our lack consciousness. But what if we stop that insanity? Because none of you have to participate in that any longer. You don't. You can hold a vibration and frequency of abundance and an intention and thoughts directed towards manifested abundance, and whatever you love is what you're headed towards. And then watch it, hold that vibration, because before you know it, you're going to see the trickling in of the abundance, the manifestation of what you actually are desiring. The problem with our world is not that there's not enough, it's that our consciousness needs some work. Our consciousness needs a little tweaking because many of us have been brought up to believe there's not enough. So we're in fear and lack, and then we become greedy, we become possessive, and we want to step on each other to get to our share before it runs out. It's insanity. It's a sickness. And so if we can just address that yes, there's a sickness happening. Wow, let me take some medicine, and the meditation, the oneness with Source, being one with your Source and finding ease and peace and stillness within is medicine for the soul. And that is going to help you to get your vibe back. You need to get your vibration right. This is why blaming the government is complete bullshit, waste of time. It is not going to help anything. But getting inside of yourself and getting your vibration right and getting your thoughts focused on abundance and goodness and health, that is going to manifest a shift in your reality. And as you guys take the power back to change your reality, you are going to actually help shift the collective. This is where you are actually helping the world. Not because you're out running to save the world, not because you're pounding Jesus down people's throats. It's nothing about that. This is about you getting your vibration to an alignment with your Source. This is what Christ was speaking of. He was the vibrational oneness with Source. I am the great I am. There's no weakness in that. There's no lack in that. He did not hold a frequency or an expectation of suffering or seeing people as broken. He saw their wholeness. He held a frequency of their wholeness and unconditional love. And then with that intention of a return to wholeness, the manifestation occurred. And this is what happens in my healing room and when I'm working with my clients. It's a co-creative experience of magical oneness with Source that is making it all happen. It's my holding a frequency of unconditional love, a vibration of that, and an expectation of shift and healing and a return to wholeness. And then my client holding that same frequency, and together we manifest amazing shifts. Does that make sense to you guys? Give me a little feedback if that makes sense, because I'm telling you, this is like probably one of the most important things you can really remember of anything I've ever said. If you never watch a video I've ever done, and this is all you hear from me, remember this, because it is incredibly powerful for you to remember that your frequency, your intention equals your manifestation. Be it good or bad, you are creating it through your vibration and through your thinking. Does that make sense, guys? Little hearts, thumbs up, yay! Hell no, that doesn't make sense. Something. Let me know. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to scroll down to here on the page, and it says, the goddess of celestial abundance, shining stellar mother Sothis, will bless you with all that you can possibly receive. So allow yourself to act in faith. This is following your heart. Allow yourself to be brave and to take steps to ready yourself right now. So like really being brave and courageous means I just had an internet show I was a part of for 2 years, and I felt something shifting with the co-creative producer of the show. I could feel there was more and more hostility and negativity, and I felt it. And then I just kind of said, Source, give me guidance. Let me know what's going on here. Is it time to leave? And then it was shown and revealed, yes, it's time to leave. So we don't need to feel like, oh, I did something wrong, or something's not good enough about me, or, oh, I hate them because they didn't shift with me. That is such a waste of time and precious vibration. What's better is to just go, okay, thank you, universe, for bringing me that conscious awareness and that confirmation. And now I know I have the power to go in a new direction, and nothing was taken from me. I didn't lose anything. I don't lose a sense of self from that. We just keep on flowing. We let the heart guide us. We let our faith and our trust guide us. And this is what we have a potential to live like, guys. We could live in a state of surrendered trust, or we could live robotically in a program trying to constantly control things, trying constantly to make ourselves better and others worse. It's all a game, and it all leads to suffering. But when you take your power back, you are going to feel free immediately. You're going to feel a freedom like you've never felt before when you actually honor the source and divinity within yourself. Okay, make sure you harvest your crops to create even more channels through which the abundance can flow to you, clearing out the old. And this is like letting go of things no longer serving you, people, relationships, jobs, old ways of being, belief systems. Let it go. Okay, this may mean revising, finishing, and bringing to fruition old projects, or deciding to let them go completely if they do not feel right for you to pursue any further. It might mean seeking fresh input or collaboration on certain projects, or feelings of sadness, guilt, grief, or anger over unfinished projects. And I feel like that's important. Check in if you're holding and harboring an energy of guilt, fear, anger. If there's any of that going on in you vibrationally, honor it, tune into it, feel it, address it, honor the feelings, give them space to be grieved and released, because they need to be released so that you can set yourself free. Okay, so here's the healing part. If you guys want to sit back and just close your eyes, unless you're driving, please don't close your eyes. But if you're at home, you can sit back and just close your eyes. Focus on your breath and just allow your awareness to dwell within, to tune in, as Eckhart Tolle says, to the inner body. And just close your eyes and just take a deep breath in, feeling the exhale. Feel that connection as we release tension on the exhale. And as you breathe in, just open to receive like you've never been open before. I am now open to all the goodness that life has to offer. And as I exhale, I release and let go of what no longer serves, without fear, without guilt or shame. You're just letting go. As you breathe and connect deeper to the inner body, going deeper and deeper into your relaxed state, focus on the rise and the fall of your belly as you inhale and exhale. So just feel the energy you're drawing in, the rise of the belly, and then feel and connect with the exhale as you release and let go. And just be with that breath, be with your oneness. Feel a sense of peace here, of ease as you let go of thinking, and you just allow through the breath, just being centered. Allow yourself to become aware that above you is a great star. So just visualizing a beautiful star. It's brilliant silver and magnificent. And feel the energy that pulses around this star that's nuclear, powerful, and vast. It is crackling with aliveness and potency. Feel your oneness with that energy. Many other planets, stars, and moons are supported by the power of this great star. It feeds them with energy and life as a spiritual sun. Now be aware that you are floating in the silver river of light in the darkest galaxy. So feel yourself really letting go into trust and surrender. You're just on that river of life, being carried, being supported. Feel yourself heading closer and closer towards this great sun. Feel the energy, the potency, and the vibration of aliveness. Feel that river of light beneath you, filled with love, power, and support. It naturally is guiding you towards the star. As you get closer, the river rises and expands, becoming vaster and wider and full of life energy, directly from the spiritual sun, Sothis. Or you could call it God, it doesn't matter, just whatever you resonate with, that light of beingness, the oneness of Source. Allow the river to nourish you with the perfect balance of cool and warm energies, divine masculine, divine feminine. There's magnetic energy, there's electric energy here. Feel yourself rising and falling with the natural flow of the river of light underneath and all around your body, your physical body, your energetic body, holding you firm and safe and supported. Imagine being cleansed by this river, letting go of any energy, any guilt, pain, anger, shame, or blame, any energy that is not aligned with abundance, and strengthening all the energies already within you that are already aligned with abundance. You release them to that river. And take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, use your voice to really let go. So it might be a like really letting go. Breathing in all the abundance available for you beyond what your mind can even comprehend. You open yourself vibrationally to receive. And as you exhale, letting go, releasing all that is heavy and dense and controlling, anything limiting, stagnant. So as you exhale, you release into the river, and as you inhale, you draw in its loving power and light within. So breathing out, we're releasing into that river, we're letting go of what no longer serves us. And as we breathe in, we're drawing in the abundance that's already here and one with us, we're welcoming it in. You become aware that the river is merging now with the edges of the star. You feel such beautiful bliss, peacefulness, as the energy of the star of Sothis pours into your being. You feel the beliefs that were incorrect and based in fear falling away, and you see and know things now very differently. There is no explanation or need for analysis. There is just deep, heartfelt knowing that all is fine and there is no need to worry or to fear. You are loved. You are safe. You are supported. You will never be abandoned, lost, ignored, or forgotten by the divine. You are not separate from the beauty and light of this great star. You have this potency, this power, and this energy within you already. You just need to feel it and remember. Remember who you are. Eventually, you will feel that you can move on the river of light back towards your life on Mother Earth without losing the feeling of Sothis within, of your oneness with Source. The river flows and you feel yourself passing through the belly of the star in utter bliss. Then through the edges of the star on the other side, peacefully and gently flowing on the river from the star towards the earth. The river within you, with you in it, begins to flow into your life on earth, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and physically. There is no part of your life that is not blessed by this river and the light within it. Be aware of the Sothis light and the river flowing into any part of your life that needs greater abundance now, greater healing or prosperity in particular. Allow that part of you and your life to be blessed by the sacred celestial river. Again, it is washing and carrying healing into the part of your life, filling it with sacred healing energy and blessing. Enjoy this feeling for a few moments. And when you're ready, you can say out loud, and I encourage you to, say it with power and intention. I now give thanks to Sothis, Goddess, Earth Mother, Source God, whatever resonates with you. I now give thanks to Source, giver of abundance and healing, for your generosity, your blessing, and gifts of abundance now in all parts of my life and on all levels of my being. Thank you, beloved, for your nurturing support, your infinite power, and your infinite abundance. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into this space in your physical body. So that was the card I drew was from my Isis Oracle, and it was the abundance of Sothis. And so kind of just take a minute and just be present and feel if you feel any kind of shifts. If you guys want to give input, let me know. Like, did that feel good? Could you feel a sense of connection? Are you guys still with me? Did you guys all get bored and leave? So just give me some input. Let me know if you're still here. And I welcome you to all really just be conscious today, wherever you are. As a yoga teacher, I'm constantly reminding the students that we're practicing yoga when we come together. When we're on the mats, we're there to practice cultivating the truth and the wisdom that is already within us. And then it's really about going off the mat and living our yoga. It's about being in a moving meditation wherever we are. Really be where you are. While you're here listening to me speak, be here and really just close your eyes and be present with your inner body while you listen. You're going to listen and you're going to receive in such a deeper and more potent way. It's incredible that when we tune into the inner body and another is speaking, it quiets down ego chatter. The ego doesn't need to talk. It doesn't need to respond, react, be right or wrong, because we're connected with the oneness. We're connected with our inner body. And when we're in that place of aliveness, there is such presence. And this is what we need. This is what we're hungry for, guys. We're all so hungry for presence. We're hungry for that connection with each other. We want, when someone says, "How are you?" we want them to actually care and to listen to when we speak. We all know that deep down this is important. But our society, our life has gotten so busy and so kind of crazy that everyone's racing around and we're not really present with each other. Like when our beloved's speaking to us, are we really listening? Are we looking in their eyes? Are our eyes closed, and are we feeling the inner body as we listen to what they're saying to us? Or are we just ready to defend ourselves and reactively respond? It's going to really change the level of your intimate relationships by just being present, just getting quiet inside and just being centered is going to bring so much love to your life. So if anybody would like, thank you guys for all the hearts and the positive comments. I really appreciate that love. I can feel it. I'm going to do a couple readings now. So whoever would like to write in like, "Hey, Tawnya, I would love a reading," just send it in and I will do a reading for you. So whoever is open and would like a reading, let me know. I'm going to have a sip of water while I wait to see anything coming in. And then stick around because I'm going to burn some sage and we're going to do a smudging together at the end. So who wants a reading, guys? Come on, don't be shy. I need to have somebody say they want one. Okay, Linda would love one. Okay, Linda, I will totally give you a reading. Okay. Actually, interesting because this card came up last time when we did a reading last week, and it's Dragon Guide. It's number 15. Looks like that. Oops, I had a couple cards here. So let me open to that page and read it to you. So this one, when this card comes up, it's a good confirmation that we need to take a stand in our life in some way, that we need to actually stand into our power, and we need to kind of tune into our inner truth. And so for you, Linda, I feel this is a confirming card that there is some place in your life that it would really serve you to speak your truth and to stand in your power. And Dragon Guide is a guide we can call on that divine masculine energy to really give us the fire needed to speak our truth. And sometimes we might need to be a little fiery. In my family, they can tell, like, if there's something out of alignment, they trigger that, maybe there's something negative coming or there's some ego coming through. And my family can tell when I call it my warrior gets woken up, because I'll be like, "Okay, guys," and there's a different tone in my voice and it comes out in a very clear and compassionate yet firm way. And that is that dragon guide, that dragon spirit. We can allow the guidance to come through us of divine masculine power and potency, standing up for what matters to us. We don't let people push us around. We don't tolerate abuse. So I feel for you, Linda, there's some level that the spirit is energetic spirit wants to come through you and help you to take a stand in your life on something important to you. Does that make sense? This is what the card says. Dragon is here to help you take a stand in your life. Others may have strong opinions about what you should or shouldn't be doing and how you should be doing it. It could be that others are interfering when they should not be. Dragon has come to help you to stand firm for what you believe is right, even if that means breathing a little fire to get your point across. It's kind of like everyone who's a mother or a father knows what this means. There's that time where you're just like not taking shit and the message is coming across and it's clear. It is like calm, assertive alpha energy, and it is incredibly clear, and anyone nearby knows what you were just saying and is like, okay, we got the message. So sometimes that's really important. We need to have that clear, direct truth coming through. So this one is just saying that Dragon's here to help you claim your power back and to help you know that you have the right to live your life as you see best. Sometimes other people have their opinions about what that is, and this is where we have to really honor our heart and what do we feel is best for us, not what does everyone else think is best for us. And let's see, what did she say? Yes, right, I do need to do that. Perfect. Okay, so Linda, just one thing that I love to do, I don't know if you're open to angels, but I love working with archangels, and Archangel Ariel is an amazing angel. Archangel Michael, the divine and the feminine warrior angels. I would encourage you just to call them in and to be one with you and to speak through you. And this will help you so that you're not feeling like small Linda, but you're feeling like oneness with Source Linda, and that you allow your divine truth to come through you without apology, without insecurity, and there's no ego there. There's no vulnerability of fear of what you need to say. You're allowing the divine to speak through you as a channel. So I encourage you to just meditate on that before you have those conversations, and it will help you amazingly. Another thing is just thank your angels for clearing ego from others that you need to have a talk with, and we can ask that request that all egoic energy would be cleared so that we can have a meeting from our soul, like from more of a soul contract level, that we could meet on a higher plane from our higher self alignment. Does that make sense? Okay, she said, okay, thank you. You're welcome, Linda. All right, so who else wanted a reading? Anybody? I'm trying to see who else had said they wanted reading. Brian, or let's see. Yeah, Brian Cole. I'm going to do a reading for you. And I don't know, maybe I always close my eyes when I do readings, and it's just like, even when I'm doing angelic auric healings with my clients, and I close my eyes, and I'm going to explain that because the Spirit just told me to explain that. When we close the eyes and we're tuning in, I'm really quieting the mind. I'm quieting any chatter whatsoever so that I can open my mind to be very receptive, and this is helping me to access higher consciousness. And this is why, like, I'll go to read the card, but I'll also have Spirit bringing me some other messages that will be directly for that person. And it's just, we can all do this. And so I'm just mirroring this to you so that when you're doing readings, you're tuning in and you're calm and you're centered. Because if we're not calm and centered and we're really fearful and frantic and we go to do a reading, we're just going to reflect that in our reading because it's the energy we're carrying. So if we get ourselves really calm and centered, we can allow higher wisdom to move in that's going to actually help us. And that is going to be really beautiful for ourselves as well as clients that we're working with. If you're a light worker, you probably already know this, but if you have a dream to be one, maybe you have the desire to do readings and you're just so itching for it, but you think you have to go to some magical angel reading school or something, you don't. All that's required, I had a woman who I friended today, and she wrote me a private message saying she's an earth angel too, and she was asking questions like, am I doing it right? You know, my hands feel fired up, and I just want to ignite the love through my healing hands. And I was like, yes, that is all that's required. All that's really required is your heartfelt desire to be a healing force on this planet, to show up with love. That is all that's required. I think some of the most humble spirits with the, I have like hiccups, with the least amount of training, meaning conditioning and programming, are so powerful of guides because we're not relying on what other people told us. We're actually tuning in and accessing straight from the source of the divine. And that's a powerful, potent opportunity that we all have. So just a reminder of that. Okay, so for Brian, Your number is number 13, and this one is titled Opening. And I love this card. This card is like, a lot of times when I'm in meditation, I see this. It's just kind of like a really beautiful violet light, or sometimes it'll be a really dark blue indigo light. But this is like an opening in your consciousness. So something's happening in Brian right now, and also maybe for many of you, maybe Dragon Guide and this card are going to connect with a lot of you listening. But there's an opening in our consciousness happening right now. We are going into a higher state of vibration. So for Brian and any others who resonate with this card, this is Spirit just telling you to trust in this opening, that you're moving into a higher frequency and vibration, that your intuition and your psychic gifts are going to be much clearer. You're going to be receiving visions and impressions and knowingness, and to trust that. That's what I'm getting from Source. And then here's what the card says. Okay, your intuition and psychic connection is open and flowing, allowing you to access higher realms of knowledge and understanding. Sometimes when we receive guidance or information from these realms, it can be a bit confusing or unclear. There is a lot of information moving through your subconscious that your conscious mind has to process. It does get easier in time. The more you use it, the more you trust it, it becomes stronger. Just remember, this open connection is how you are naturally meant to operate. You are now in direct communication with other realities and your higher self. Does that make sense, Brian? Give me a little feedback if that... Oh, I got to go down here more and more. Let me know if that makes sense to you. So one of the things with this is, and what I feel like my guides have said that I'm here on this planet to assist with, is to be a bridge assistant from the earthly realm. So we have the physical realm that we see. There's like manifested reality. And a lot of us get caught up in that. We think this is the reality. This is my body. It's broken. It's sick. This is my relationship. It's broken. It's sick. Or this is my bank account, you know? And we get caught up in this physical dimension. And so the reason my soul chose to manifest and incarnate in this lifetime and to move through what I moved through, and then to come out of that swampy darkness to become a way shower of love, is to remind you all that we are, like I was saying earlier, spiritual alchemists of change and transformation. Many of you that are probably guided to listen to anything I'm saying are part of my soul tribe, and there's a reason you're guided here. It's like our informal angelic meeting is happening today. And this is where our higher spirit guides are bringing us all together to remember that we have a very important mission to fulfill. And that as we keep our consciousness open, we access higher dimension, we access higher information and consciousness, and that is actually going to help us move forward and manifest a new earth, a new reality. So some of us, that when we forget this, we can get caught up in what we see, and then we just kind of freak out about it, and we give more and more energy to what we see, whether it's cancer in the body or, you know, misalignment in the relationship or abundance issues, lack. We focus on what's wrong. And so with this consciousness opening, this portal, this is what the guides and the angels and Source are bringing through me today to each of you listening, is to open you up to higher consciousness. This is going to take you beyond the mind. And it can seem confusing if you're not used to it. It can feel kind of like you're losing your mind, because you really are. You're going beyond the mind. And so it's a time to be really gentle with yourself, so that as you're accessing higher consciousness, it's kind of like if you take your cell phone and you're updating your apps and you need to plug in your phone and leave it alone a while. That phone is getting all this new information. It needs time to organize everything and make it make sense. And then you can get on your phone and you can use it again. And the same thing is happening to us as humans. We tune in, we access higher consciousness, we have downloads of information. You've probably heard that term. We're getting a download of information, and then we need to have time where we go into meditation, we become very quiet, pull away from the busyness of the world and get still, so that you can let all that information become organized and make sense inside of you. Think of your brain like the motherboard of a computer. How you treat the mind is actually how well your computer is going to work. If we are not treating our bodies well, if we're doing drugs, abusing alcohol, drugs, addictions, things like that, or if we're even abusing our body, if we're getting hit in the head, we're impacting the brain, we can actually create trauma to the brain that actually can keep us from accessing the fuller potential of our consciousness. So if you think of your body that way, I would encourage you to really take good care of your body, but know that you're much more than your body. It's like the body's the computer, and the consciousness is who you are, and that's the information coming in. So this opening card is a card to help you to know that you're in a process of that, and I would just say to be gentle with yourself, be patient as you're downloading information, and as you're kind of bringing it all together to make sense, and then you are going to have the sense of knowing. It's just like a knowing about something that maybe before you didn't even really understand or even intellectually even know existed. This is what happens for me. And when it comes in, it might be like, what? That is really challenging me. That can't be true. And it can challenge the ego because the egoic mind thinks it needs to hold everything and put it in a little box. This is going beyond that. So does that make sense to everybody? Give me a little thumbs up, whatever, a heart if you, and Brian, let me know if that makes sense to you. I'll do one more reading. Anybody else want a reading? Let me know. Write me and just say, Tawnya, I would love a reading, and I'm going to have another drink of water. Okay, Brian said yes, that makes sense. I think it's Johan. I hope I'm saying that right. Says yes, so thank you. Who else wants a reading? Do you want one, Johan? I think that's what I'm getting, is you're saying yes, please. Thank you, Brian. I'm glad that makes sense. You're welcome. Okay, so Johan, we're doing a reading for you. Okay. So actually, I'm getting the intuition to speak 2 cards for you, and it's just, I feel it. It's just a feeling. So the first one is 40, and that is the Alm card, just because I recognize that one. And then, let's see. So we've got the Alm, and then number 9. And that card is titled Rewards. And I feel, again, these messages are for the individuals asking for them, but they're for all of you. Let's remember our oneness. So we had our Speak Our Truth, our Dragon Guide. That's for all of you. Then we had our openness to spirit, uploading and downloading more information, more consciousness for all of us. The next one is the Alm card, 40. So this one says, the meaning of this card is twofold. Firstly, it is calling for more time in meditation and prayer. Wow, what a big shocker, because I was just saying that. And that's kind of Spirit's magical way of kind of bringing confirmation in a playful way. And I feel like that is fun part of when we're doing readings, is that Spirit's already saying something and then a card brings in confirmation. So practicing meditation, honoring quiet time, being still and one with your source, this is going to help you guys navigate this earthly dimension so much more powerfully. And when people are all acting crazy around you and they're fearful, it'll help you to tune in, to kind of pause, hit the pause button, slow down, access higher consciousness for solution, and then how you can show up with greater love and support. And sometimes that means we are holding space and holding a vibration of love for others that are refusing to acknowledge that for us. They're refusing to show up with love, and that's okay, because when we remember we're one with our source, we really don't have a neediness in us for love. We don't feel needy for love from others, or needy for attention, or needy for acceptance, because we have given that to ourselves. So that is a huge part of the shift for us as we come into our alignment with Source. So the Alm card is just encouraging us to go into meditation, and I would encourage you to do that consciously, meaning that you're closing your eyes, you're being still with your Source, you're listening at least a couple times a day. I would say a couple times minimum. But then the bigger point of this is that we can learn to move in a moving meditation. And that's where we can be in a state of meditation wherever we are. So while I'm here in front of you all, I'm also tuning in and accessing consciousness. I'm in a moving meditation. I don't have to lay down and close my eyes. However, that time that I do choose to lay down and close my eyes is so important for me, because that's when I'm resting the body. It's when I'm bringing my vibration into a state of ease, and when I am healing myself. If I feel like anything needs some love or support, then that is when I get quiet and still and I allow my body to heal. And it's when I'm gaining access to the answers and the solutions of any questions that I have. So there's that time that is really appropriate to just quiet your mind chatter, lay down and be quiet and just be silent and listen. Practice listening. And then use that time that you practice that, you cultivate that awareness as you go into your life in a moving meditation and be present at all times. It's really never going back to sleep. We're consciously becoming awakened dream walkers. We're walking through the dream, but we're wide awake. Make sense, guys? Okay, so the rest of this card says, energetically, you are needing some time alone with yourself. So, Johan, this could be that you really need some quiet time. You need to be alone with self. And I would encourage you, if you can, to have some time in nature. Nature, alone time is a magical, amazing thing. So I'd encourage you guys to take time for that. In your inner space, through meditation, you are able to connect more deeply with your higher self and your guides. Energetically, this is vital for you. Secondly, this card calls you to focus on the power of your voice to facilitate the opening of your throat chakra. So this could be some of you are needing to open the throat chakra. It's important for you to start speaking your truth. I'm mirroring that to you. Nothing bad will happen. You've seen on this feed, there's been mostly love and positive energy. There's been a couple hecklers, and we're sending them love. There's nothing to be afraid of. But really use your voice and come into your power and speak, but also be mindful that you're not going towards people to try to convince them of anything. You don't need to save people. You don't need to change people or convince people. It's just speaking your truth and creating an open space for the ones who are open and receptive. It's really about that. Okay, this vocal expression, whether through chant, prayer, or even singing, is very important for you right now. So how does that feel to you, Johan? Does that make sense? And maybe even chanting, like in my yoga classes, sometimes we'll chant Om, and we could all do that right now, just like a Om. So my beloved's going to do it with me. We're going to do that 2 more times. So join me if you guys want. Let's create a vibration together in order to shift and heal ourselves and also extend this loving energy out to humanity. Okay? Let's take a deep breath in. And another deep breath. Just take a couple breaths and just feel presence with the vibration in your body. Just feel the aliveness, the connection. Beautiful. That was nice. So Johan, all of you, maybe practice some chanting. And that will be really helpful for you. I feel really good right now. Alming is so powerful. I use a tuning fork also, that's the frequency of Om. And I've had some amazing, miraculous shifts with my clients in the aromatherapy massage and the auric clearings while working with the tuning fork that is the frequency of Om. And I use it on myself as well. When I go to sleep, I'll kind of ring it and play it by both ears. I'll press it to my third eye, and then I'll just kind of lay it down and go into sleep. And it's helped me have incredible, deep, lucid dreaming. I'm very present and have very deep dreams, very clear. And I also feel like it activates healing. If there's any need for detoxing or healing, it's bringing your body back into the harmonic resonance that it's intended to operate in. So kind of like tuning an instrument, you're in essence tuning your own vibration, your own body. So chanting Om is the same intention with that, is that we're bringing our body, our mind, and our spirit into this harmonic resonance with Source, and it quiets everything down. And it brings us back into that space of stillness, which is so incredibly powerful and healing. And you're welcome, Linda. Okay, so the next card for you, Johan, was rewards. And again, for all of you, receive these messages. We have liftoff. Energetically and physically, things are about to take off in your world. Hold on to your hat. All of your work is about to pay off. Whatever your venture is right now, there is great movement coming. Things are about to skyrocket for you. Good things do come, and this is your time to enjoy them to the fullest. You have done the work, and now it is time for you to reap the rewards. Congratulations. And that is a message I feel to all of you from Spirit for joining us in this vibration. There's my dog behind us. Honey, are you trying to get in on this video? So all of us can have that opportunity to tune in and just, receive these messages, do our inner work. And remember, this is the most important part of life, is us coming into a vibrational oneness with Source. We're all just here walking each other home. Nobody's a loser and nobody's a winner. There's nobody, going to get to the finish line first. We just need to remember that. We can get, our egos can really seduce us into insanity again and again. I think my video's going to come back and home. So basically, it's just reminding us to stay in that vibrational frequency of oneness and just be a guide, a way shower of love. That is your work, guys. It's so simple. We're just here to walk each other home. And coming home is coming back to the vibration of oneness with Source. It's coming back into our oneness. We don't have to die to come back home. We're here to live. We're here to live and to co-create North together. We're here to raise the frequency on this planet, to bring back a sense of restoration and wholeness to ourselves and to the entirety of the planet, all the life force, the animals, all those people that are standing for what matters. Like, I got to send huge waves out to all the people that are uniting at Standing Rock, and they are doing what they can to protect water. And that water is a symbol. It is a symbol of life. And it's such a bigger metaphor than just the physical water. It's about honoring the life flow, the life force. It's about honoring each other, no matter what our skin color, no matter what our walk of life, our income level. All of that is so pointless in the bigger spectrum. We're here to walk each other home, back to our oneness, back to our state of love. It's not about teams. It's not about, political parties, guys. It's about love. And so that is my message today. And I am going to burn some sage. And my beloved, I think, wants to say something.
Well, I was going to say, did you want to read the lyrics of that song that came to you?
Oh, no, I'm good. Yeah. But do you want to say something to them? Hold on, let me turn you to him because I'm going to light the stage for a minute. Okay, there you go, baby.
All right. So I just want to hit on something that she mentioned at the beginning of the show. A couple different things. One is the transition and evolution of this show from the Tawnya Love show to this venue and format. Spontaneous, it's spontaneous flow, and also the ability to actually extend this live show beyond just 1 hour, because in the past there was actually never time to do personal individual readings, which is actually a pretty cool thing to be able to do. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we're going to be uploading all these live shows to YouTube and adding to her previous 2 years is...
they can enjoy it again and again.
Exactly. And the other thing that I want to hit on as well is, first off, I also just want to say how grateful I am to have had her as my own beloved and teacher over the past year, because I've been able to evolve and grow and expand much greater beyond my ego than I otherwise would have had I not met her. So just very grateful to be with such a high vibration woman. And also the fact that on this planet right now, with all the wars that have happened over the 20th century and 21st century, that our planet has been overpolarized on the divine masculine, or rather misaligned masculine, as opposed to being in balance with the divine feminine. And so the fact that my wife has been able to be a teacher of mine, to my ego may be like, oh shit, a woman is teaching me expansion or connecting, assisting in my connection with my higher self. But in reality, everybody must connect with their divine feminine within and actually honor that part of themselves, because the feminine is kind of a big part of what's going to power forward our plan to the next dimension. And
yes.
when it comes to a baby just entering the world, that was the other thing that I was going to mention. How she said when a baby enters the world, you're a pure spirit, and then it's the nature versus nurture. It's the nurturing kind of learning by misaligned influences that teaches hatred or fear or being identified with the ego. And so, but as a baby, it's a pure spirit that has just come from the higher dimensions. And I want to remind everybody that in the higher dimensions, there is no such thing as fear, as greed, as hatred, as racism, as anything. That does not exist in the higher dimensions of heaven. And so it's kind of remembering that, relearning that, and evolving and growing as souls on this planet to ground that higher vibrational energy into this earth dimension, so we can create heaven on earth.
Yay!
And not have to die. So anyhow, that's all I wanted to say. So
thank you, love.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. That was my beloved William, and he's so sweet and honoring. So thank you, love. And I agree with him so much on the divine feminine energy in each of us needing to be honored. And in that regard, I lit my sage. And so if any of you that are participating would like to light your sage with me, we're going to light the sage with the intention of cleansing and purifying first our own consciousness, our own minds, our bodies, our lives, our relationships, our consciousness in regards to abundance and receiving. Let's light this sage in connection with cleansing the collective consciousness, and that we all can join and unite together with the intention of clearing all the fear. When we see people showing up with hatred, judgment, we just clean on it. We just send love, and I love you, I forgive you, I accept you, I am so sorry, thank you, and I love you. And we just want to consciously come into that vibration no matter what's showing up in our movie, no matter what's showing up in our mind. If our mind has fear coming, bubbling up, we want to love that. Whatever's rising, just, I love you. Wow, I just totally lost myself in ego. I love you. I am getting more and more aware every moment. There's no more room for shame. There's no more room for the guilt and the shame and the pain. Because in essence, that guilt, shame, and pain is the very vibration that's dragging you down into a lower vibrational reality. And that's not where we're going anymore. We are here to, like the song that I had in my consciousness when I woke was On the Wings of Love. We are here to rise as solar angels. We're here to rise into a higher vibration. In these bodies, these human bodies are here to ascend into that vibrational reality, and we are here to walk into our new earth. Our heaven on earth is here. It's within. We can shift and create this frequency alignment with source. We don't have to die to get there, and we don't need to be afraid that we're going to hell. So this is something that's very liberating to realize. So lighting our sage, we're also sending some love out to all the many humans, all the animals, all the beings that are standing and taking a stand for what is right on the planet right now. All the ones who are speaking their truth, having the courage to walk their own walk, having the courage to take a stand in the face of fear or adversity, to actually speak up for humanity and what is right. I send love and light to all of you, and you are so supported, you are so blessed and so honored, and do not be afraid, because only love is real. Everything else is the illusion. So allow yourselves to awaken from the illusion, and you will be bringers of love and light. So sending this sage out to all of you. It's vibrational. We're setting the intention. Whether you physically have sage or not is not that important. And just kind of clearing that with my eagle feather and just sending love out to everybody. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. And like I said, I'm just going to be doing live Facebook shows live as I feel guided, because Spirit's showing me that's really important to me. It's not just a rigid expectation of a time and this is the time to speak. It's letting ourselves be fluid and letting ourselves go with the flow and speak as we feel divinely inspired, and not having any rigid control of that. So I appreciate you guys joining, and if you missed this, don't worry, it'll be posted on my YouTube channel. And there's so many shows on there. If you feel like you really got something from this, I encourage you to go, especially at times when you're feeling fearful or stressed. Go to YouTube under Tawnya Love. Follow me on there, not because I need followers, but just so that you have access. And go and watch some of those shows. Remind yourself who you are. I am only here to remind you of that. We're all equal here. I know better than you. I know worse than you. We're all one, guys. And we're all love. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I just send love to you all. I have so much appreciation for all that you're doing and all that you are doing to participate in raising the vibration of the collective. And Cindy, I love you. I see your little hearts popping up. So thanks guys so much. Mwah! Namaste. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. High vibrational week. Mwah. Bye.